All right, everybody. So sorry it took so long to get this video up, but it's been a busy day. Last night I tracked the storm until about 3:30, and it was pretty cool to watch because there was a lot of heavy snow and strong winds. It was pretty neat to be a part of, and I have some video of that I'll put up later on. Let me just get to the bottom line first. We are going to get hit with a major snowstorm Monday night into Tuesday, and my prediction is 6 to 10 inches in the Philadelphia area. The models at this point have all, for the most part, have trended north, which I'm not surprised. That's been the theme of the entire winter. If you think about all the storms that originally we thought might hit here, Boston has gotten them, almost all of them. So the northern trend has been in play really since the beginning of the winter. Now, this storm is going to be a little bit different because it's not a clipper that will go to the coast and redevelop. It's more of a Miller A type situation where you have a low that dips down towards the Gulf of Mexico, picks up a little bit of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, and then just comes up the coast. Now, the reasons why I think it's going to be a little bit more snow than what we thought yesterday. And if you remember yesterday, I told you that I wasn't going to make a prediction on this storm until yesterday's storm was over because we had to see what influence that would have for this next one. And it's going to have a small influence on the next one. As the storm starts to come up the coast, it's not going to be one of those types of storms that bomb out over the Gulf Stream. It's going to just be a low. It's not going to be super strong. I don't think there's going to be a tremendous amount of wind with it, but it's going to come up the coast. And one of the things that's going to help us get a little bit more snow out of this is the storm that just passed, that's up in Boston now, and actually up in Maine now, and spinning up there. It's a pretty big low. It's a 965 low up there, up towards eastern Canada. And that's going to slow down the progression a little bit. So the storm that's coming on Monday night isn't going to be able to just rocket up the coast. It's going to move fairly quickly, but it's not going to be flying like it would have without that low up there. So that's going to slow things down just a little bit. I don't think it's going to be a dramatic. If we had a negative NAO, then this storm could have been one of those 1 to 2 foot type storms. The reason why it's not going to be is it's going to be a fast mover relatively. If you think about some of the ones that we've had in 96 when we had 30 inches of snow and the ones in 2010. So this one's going to be, compared to those, a quick mover, but the low that went by that is going to slow the progression down a little bit is going to give us a couple more inches. So I probably would have been thinking 4 to 8 if not for that low north. I think that's going to help us get up to 6 to 10. So I'm going to say that'll give us another 2 inches of snow. So that's why you have to look at each storm and you have to wait, and why I didn't want to make a prediction yesterday, because you had to know what influence this storm was going to have on the next one. So 6 to 10 inches around Philadelphia. If you get a little bit west of the city, it's probably going to drop 3 to 6 near Allentown, Reading, places like that. It's going to be a lot more actually as you get down to the D.C. area. I think that over into West Virginia and places like that, even Kentucky, from what I'm seeing, is going to have a good bit of snow. Some places down towards the south, they're going to see close to 12 to 16, 12 to 18 type deal. Down the Jersey Shore, they might see 12. It's possible. Cape May, Atlantic City, it looks like they're going to see a little bit more precip than we are. It depends on how much north and how far north and how much the precip shield develops to the northwest. If we get a pretty large shield of precipitation to the northwest, then we can get in on some of the higher numbers. But I think the higher numbers for us are closer to 6 to 10. I don't see much more than 10 being in the realm of possibility, but it is weather, so you never know. So that's it. It's 6 to 10 for Monday night into Tuesday. And then unbelievably, there could be a massive storm coming on Saturday, but when you're 6 days out, you can't take that to the bank. And then after that, there might be another storm next week around Tuesday, Wednesday that could be pretty big. So we're in this pattern now. And I'll tell you, something to think about. Last year, Philadelphia got 68 inches of snow. And I remember people in D.C. were complaining about where's our snow. All the snow lovers down there were so annoyed because every storm seemed to come up and miss them to the north, and we were cashing in big time. Well, in March, there were about 4 or 5 storms that were supposed to hit us that wound up being for DC. So their second half of the winter was pretty big, where ours wasn't. We got all of our snow from December into February, and then by March we didn't get anything really. We stayed cold, but we didn't get any snow. Well, this year I think it's happening a little bit differently. Boston was the one that got all the snow in the beginning. They got up to 80, 90 inches of snow already. So I think what might be happening is the jet stream is starting to sag a little bit, um, and now we're getting in on those storms. Maybe these storms are starting to come a little bit south. So I think the second half of this winter is when we're going to make up some of this ground that Boston has. Do I think we're going to get 90 inches of snow? Absolutely not. It's impossible. Could we get 30 or 40? Yeah, it can happen. So just got to keep looking. This next week and even into March is going to be stormy and cold. And when I say cold, this week's going to be very, very cold. It doesn't look like we're getting out of the 30s, and we may not even get out of the 20s. And Thursday's a chance for another low of 0 or below 0. So very cold weather ahead. Winter is nowhere near done. We have plenty of winter left, probably into mid-March. And if the analogs are right, it could be even late March. So everybody be safe. Stay warm. Wind chills tonight down to close to 20 below 0. It's incredible for Philadelphia. You don't see that very often. And 6 to 10 inches Monday night into Tuesday. Now, one other thing, I just want to give credit to Rob Framo, who made this call long before I did. I saw his call this morning on I think the name of the page is Rob and Kevin's Winter Weather page. Check it out if you can. It's a very good page. Kevin Riley and Rob Framo are really two good forecasters. They're like me. They're not meteorologists, but they have a hobby, and they're very good at what they do. And check out their site, too. I think you'll find that it's got a lot of good information. But, yeah, Rob called this 6 to 10 earlier. I think Kevin, if I'm not mistaken, said 6 to 12, but, generally the same area. So I agree with them. I'm not the first on this one. That was them. I saw Rob's early this morning, so I just wanted to give them credit for coming up with it first, even when the National Weather Service was not calling for anything more than 1 to 2 inches. So great job, guys, and glad we could track these storms and have some fun together. All right, so thanks for checking in, everybody. Hope you have a good night, and I will post tomorrow.